We'll start the class with a prayer. Close your eyes, palms together. Seek the blessing from all your gurus, God and goddesses. Until you are done, slowly open your eyes. Today we are going to see our agenda will be like this. As usual, we are going with the daily gocharam, followed by the horoscope reading. Then we'll go with our daily lessons. Today we are going to finish with the Jupiter. Then, if time permits, we can move into the next Grega, Saturn. Okay, that's our agenda today. Let's quickly get into the class. Today's gocharam and Guru in the Rishabha, Mangal in the Mithuna, Ketu in the Kanya, and Surya and the Sunny in the Kumbha Rasi, and Chandra, Rahu, Budan, Shukran all together are 4 Rasis in the Meena Rasi. And if anybody was having a Meena Rasi or Meena Lagna, this is the wonderful day for those peoples. Or the Meena Rasi becomes the 8th house, Meena Rasi becomes the 6th house. This today is the best day to research about yourself, to see how the planets was impacting on every individual. So this is the best day because all 4 grahas in the Gocharam, very best day to do our own research.
On 29th, Surya and Shani will also go to Meena, right?
That is but Budan will move, if I'm not wrong. And that is also best day. If the more grahas on one Rashi, that is the best place or best time to research, to start our research on ourselves. Okay, let's getting into the Pancham. Pancham Tritiya. Okay, this is the Tritiya after the Mahashivratri. Everybody enjoys the Mahashivratri, I believe. Every month the Shivratri will come, but on the February month, that means in the month of when the Surya in the Kumbha Rasi, that month Shivratri becomes much more effective than every other Navaratris. Now Shivratris. Every Shivratri, there was the 1 hour of the time will be very much special to enhance your meditation. Every month, the 1 hour definitely in the night. Usually when our body organs work in such a way that you are in at least in the mid of the night, 12 o'clock to 2 p.m., if your body was not laying down or body was not in a full rest, it will give you the side effect to your body. That means you are intentionally changing the 5 elements in your body. But on that particular night, only on the Shivratri, what will happen? This Panchapudam will try to help you to enhance your body. That too, even if you wake up on the particular time. Every other month Shivratris except the Mahashivratri, there is only 1 hour of the time. The duration is the 1 hour of the time. But on the Mahashivratri, entire 12 hours, the 6 p.m. to the morning 6 a.m., the entire 12 hours, the cosmos itself give you that kind of an energy to enhance yourself, to enhance your 5 elements in your body. So that's the special. That's why they call it as a Mahashivratri. Okay, let's move into the Pancham. The Tritiya makes you to recall the Triyodasi. Okay, then followed by the Chaturthi. Nakshatra, Uttarabhadrapada, followed by the Revati. Yoga, Shubha, Shukla. Karana, Taitila, Garaja, and Vanisha. Weekday, Ravivara, Paksha is the Shukla Paksha. Okay. I felt I did some mistake in my last class about the travel things. So I thought to reconcile my mistake. Okay, quickly, we won't spend too much time on this slide. We quickly revise this. Consider your Lagna is the Mesh Lagna. Your 3rd house represents your short travel. Short travel means in the modern times, in the earlier times, they consider the short travel is they move into one village to another. But nowadays, the short travel can be you can move into one country to another country. Then here you have to consider the short travel means you start your journey today, you come back to your destination, come back to the starting point again on the same day. You consider it's a 1 day travel. It's an assumption only. It's a short short travel, or the hours considered is a 1 hour journey, 2 hours journey, kind of. Seventh house, it will be know about, okay, this Jataka can able to go to the foreign country or travel to the foreign country or not. And the ninth house represents your long travel. Long travel means long distance travel. If you're flying for 18 hours, 24 hours, that kind you can make it out in the ninth house. You're permanently settled down in the foreign country, that is in the 12th house. Okay. This is the house representing for the travel. But what are the rashis which is going to help you? If the more, let's see about the grahas first. Moon, Venus, and the Mercury. These are the three major grahas plays you biggest role in your travel. If these grahas placed in the movable rashis, that is the Mesha, Karka, Tula, and Makara, then definitely there is a higher chance you will definitely travel to the foreign country. That too.
Which are the planets, Vanita? Can you please repeat those planets?
Venus, Mercury.
Okay, thank you.
If that is the grahas present in your third house or in the movable rasis or in the third house, ninth house, seventh house, 12th house, then there is a higher chances you definitely will travel to the foreign country. Okay. When you are analyzing about the horoscope, we'll go deeper into it. At this moment, you know about this much. This is fair enough, I guess. Let's getting into the horoscope reading. Okay. Today, whatever we studied about the Satish horoscope, we know about his Lagnam, Mithuna Lagnam, Rashi, also Mithuna Rashi, Dasha Buddhi Antar. Now, the current Dasha Buddhi Antar is the Venus. And we have the Gocharam chart handy. And I guess I'm not. Let me have this. I did a mistake there. It is not.
Vanita, Vanita, my small request. What I request now, can you just go slow on this horoscope? Last time I didn't understand about combustion and retrograde. A bit confusion, but can it possible to read bit slow on the horoscope?
We'll do
Thank
that.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Good. Have the Gocharam chart handy? Yes, we have that. Every day the Gocharam will change. So you may have the question, Vanita, I read the Satish horoscope on the last week. They also have to have the Gocharam, of course, every day, how many times you are reading doesn't matter, but you have to take the exact day's exact Gocharam chart in your hand. Okay. Birth chart, Bhava chart, Gocharam chart, already we have a hand. We know about his Kendra Trikona, Yoga Karaka, no. Badagastana, 7th house is the Badagastana. We are going to study about this today, not detail. When we come into the 7th house, we are getting into detail. Okay, let's quickly getting into we have to go into the last point, 6th one. We already learned about the Grahas combination aspect, Grahas strength and the weakness. Okay, now before getting into that, let's go into see the chart, the Satish in a different way. Okay, first thing. In the Mithuna Rasi, the Lagna starts at the 17.13 degree. Is the Kendra as well, Trikona also. It's an air and the dual nature, male is an energy. So what does that mean? His tendency will be very much light and humorous in nature. He wants everybody, the peoples around them will be happy and the jolly in nature. And he has a strong energy because when the male energy was involved, they are the strong energy. And when the dual was involved, these people won't be stubborn, won't be just let go like that. They will be in the middle. They find the way in the middle. And when the Jupiter was retrograde, and the Moon, two planets was in the Lagna itself. So when whichever the Graha present in your Lagna, the Jataka have the like they tend to like the Moon. Here the Jupiter, he may like his daughter or the son very much, and he were very much kind to his mother. He loved his mother more than anything. He loved his child more than anything. Let's check with Satish if Satish was in the call. This is true, Satish?
Yeah, very much. Very much. Yes, true.
then we'll know about the Karka. Now we are much more concentrating on the fourth house. Okay. So here the fourth, why I include the Lagna today? Because the Lagnadipati and the fourth house lord, both of same. Who's the Lagnadipati?
Mercury.
Mercury is the Lagnadipati. And who's the fourth lord? Again, Mercury. Okay. What is the difference between these two? Here is a Yar in nature. Here is a Yar in nature. Dual quality and the female energy. This is the combination. So the fourth house, here we have to see many things about it. So first thing you have to consider here was there was no Graha present in it. So this is the Rashi where which we are giving much more importance to the house lord. Who's the house lord here? Mercury. Then we have to see where the Mercury was present. Mercury was present in the sixth house. So I put a break point here. Then we have to discuss about a few more things. We'll come back to the fourth house again. Before that, we'll see the square. The only one planet was in the own house, that is the Saturn. That is in the Kumbha Rasi. There is no exalted planets, there is no debilitated planet. Rasi Parivartana, we will see that later. There was no Yoga Karaka, so we no need to consider the Yoga Karaka for the Mithuna Rasi. Okay. Daksha Buddhyanta, we know it was the Venus for Daksha Buddhi. And okay, now here I have the one point. Who is the Dasha? Whichever the Graha was in Dasha Buddhi, you have to understand which Adipati that Graha is. Here the Venus is the Dasha Buddhi, and we have to find out which house the Venus was ruling. What are the houses Venus was ruling in the Satish chart? Venus ruled by
12th and 5th.
12th, 5th and the 12th houses. So that is the Tula Rasi and the Rishabha Rasi. Okay, here comes the interesting. What is special about the 12th house? It is the Virayasthan. Then who is the Virayadipati? Is the Chukran is the Virayadipati. And which Dasha Buddhi was happening for him?
Venus.
Venus. So Virayadipati his Dasha Buddhi was happening for him right now. So make this point, note this point. We'll come back to that later. Okay. And we know about the Kendra. Already I know about, explain about is KTPAU. K means Kendra, T means Trikona, Panapara, Apoklima, and Upachayastha. Okay. Now come back to this point. This is very important now. Varayadipati, we already discussed. It is the 12th house lord, who's also the owner of the 5th house, that is the Shukra. And Ashtamadipati. Okay. In his chart, who is the Ashtamadipati? Ashtamadipati is 8th house.
Shani.
Okay, Shani. Okay, then we have to understand about the 6th house. Who's the 6th house here? Which is the 6th house here? And who's the lord? Vrishika is the 6th house. Mangal is the 6th house lord. Okay, then who's the Bhatakadipati here? Okay, one thing about the Bhatakadipati, for the Upaya Rasi, 7th house becomes the Bhatakadipati. Yes or no? No.
Yes.
Shara Stira Upayam, Shara Rasi 11, Stira Rasi 9, and the Upaya Rasi becomes the 7th house becomes the Bhatakadipati. Here, who's the 7th, which is the 7th house, and who's the lord?
Guru.
Guru. Then, Marakasthana. Is there any Graha present in the Marakasthana? This one little bit difficult, so I will tell you the answer. Only the one Graha which is present in the Marakasthana, that is the Mars. Okay? Except every other Graha present in a different position. What do we need to consider about this one? The important thing about these 5 peoples are, we have to understand which Dasha Buddhi was happening. Why we need to give this much importance? Because the Dasha Buddhi under is like a blanket. Based on that, your Rashi Graha will be given the exact effect. It was like this. See, there are in number of the combination in your chart. But when it is coming into effect, when the Dasha Buddhi happening, that is the point it is going to getting into an action. Until then, it will be stay like that only. So when the Dasha Buddhi was happening, that particular Graha combination will take effect along with the Puja. Okay. Till now, any questions?
No.
Okay. Question. I try to make it as a very slow, but there is a tendency of me to speaking very speed. I try to avoid it as much as possible. If at any point in time you feel like, Vanida, you are going really speed and I can't understand, please stop me at any point in time. Okay. Now we have to understand about the Vagragraha. Any chart, whenever you, there are the three things you have to see without fail. One is there any Graha is getting a retrograde? That is the Vagragraha present in the Jataka Marana. Is there any Parivardhana was happening in the Jataka Marana? It may be the Rashi Parivardhana, Nakshatra Sara Parivardhana. And is there any combustion Graha present in the Jataka Marana? For the Satish Jatakam, there was no combustion. Then we have to see Parivartana later. We no need to complicate the things here. And one thing about we have see Vagragraha present. There are the two Vagragraha present in a Satish Jatakam. One is the Jupiter and another is the Mercury. Okay. One important thing about the Vagragraha is it will show you the deepest karma which is bring along with your birth. It may be the karma related with the Jupiter, it may be the karma related with the Mercury. So what is the thing? One interesting thing about the retrograde Mercury is the astrology will come to you. That kind of the Vidya will come to you just like that for you. If the retrograde Mercury peoples, when they try to learn this kind of the Vidya, particularly the Vidya which is need a cosmic energy, which is need the divine's energy, they will grasp just like that. This is easy for them. See, some people not able to remember the 27 nakshatras. For them, it was like a cakewalk. Okay, it doesn't matter for me. I know this. Just like that, the retrograde Mercury will do. And the Jupiter, the much numerous wisdoms will come to them. Okay, there is one demerit here. For that Karagam, whichever the Graha which is retrograde, for that Graha's Karagam, some of it make them sad. See, for the Jupiter, it may be he gets pain or sad or struggle or obstacles related with his child. Or any of, if Satish is no, Vanita, my children are really good and I don't get any sadness about my children, then we have to see other Karaka for the Jupiter. That one or the other way, the Karaka of that Graha, particularly the retrograde Graha, will give you kind of the desire which is not fulfilled. You may think like, no, I get this wisdom, but you feel like, no, I'm not get the wisdom fulfilled. And I don't get this intelligence fulfilled. When the Mercury was retrograde, you won't feel satisfied how much you've learned. Is this anything happening in your life, Satish? About the retrograde Jupiter and the Mercury? No, yes. I'm not able to hear you. I guess you're speaking something. It's a low.
Very low.
Okay, we will go with an assumption that okay. If that was not the right, if Satish was not being getting any pain or sadness with his children, then the other grahas for the Jupiter will take place. That will give you some kind of the pain or kind of a struggle in his. This is for the Jupiter and the Mercury because it's carrying the deepest karma in your life. For example, if you're having a Saturn retrograde, you won't feel satisfied how much you hard work. You won't feel, okay, I'm really satisfied with it. No one can say the people who are having the retrograde Saturn. They feel like, no, I want to work more. And the work is my life. They feel like that, but they won't get satisfied. And they won't get recognized as well. Okay, one thing about the Vagram is you won't get recognized at any cost, regardless of how much intelligent you are, you won't get recognized. How much wisdom you carry. The recognition is the biggest task in your life. That the Vagram will do for you. That's why they consider it's the bad. But somewhat I don't feel it. Yeah, I feel it is the deepest energy in you. Okay. Then come back to this small box. Why we have to consider this one? So whenever we learn about the Dashabhuti, we have to be see whether it is the Vrayadipati Dashabhuti happening, Ashtamadipati or sixth house lord, Padakadipati or Maranakar. Then why we have to give this much importance? When the 6, 8 and 12, you have, no matter what, whichever you are reading in the chart, you have to give the importance to the 6, 8, 12, what were the grahas present in it. If the 6th, 8th, 12th, the Lord or the grahas which is present in it is the Dasha Buddhi was happening, you have to give much more importance to it. So these two difference you understand, right? When the Dasha Buddhi happening for the 6, 8, 12 dots or the grahas present in the 6, 8, 12, you have to give much more importance to that particular grahas or that particular bhavas. Okay. Marana Karaka, what it will do? It will give you the so much struggle and obstacle in his life that you feel like, okay, that's it. And it's like kind of a stage 1 before you are going to burst out. That kind of the pain you will encounter. Badakadipati. One interesting thing about the Badakadipati is it makes
Can you
you
repeat the Marana Karaka part? Can you repeat the previous?
Marana Karaka. Marana Karaka, it makes you to struggle. It feels like, okay, I'm done with my life and I'm not going to do it. This is this number of obstacles I'm facing. It was like one level before you are bursting out, and I'm done. Whatever the patience I have in my life, I'm done with this.
So would that be in that particular dasa?
Yes, particular dasa was happening that point in time. Okay, there is a two ways here. Whenever the Dashabhuti was happening, the Maranakaraka Graha will be much more activated. There is also one more thing. When there was a Bhava, there is the Graha related Bhava actions, if you activated, that is also the time the Maranakaraka Sthana will get activated. The last point may take some time to understand, but at this moment, understand about whenever there was a Dasha Buddhi was happening and the Marana Karakasthana Dasha Buddhi was happening, you are done. That is the time you are going to face any number of troubles. You lose everything in your life, whatever it is. It may be respect, it may be your job, it may be your studies, it may be your relationship. Maybe go away from you or you let go them, whatever it is happening, that give you the sadness it's really hard for you to recover. But is that going to give you the death kind of the sentence? No, it is not, but it will give you the pain that is related to that. Okay. Okay, let's come back into the Satish chart. Okay, now let's see about the 4th house. Now we are going to see a little bit deep dive. Now again, I come back to the point where I stopped here. So the 4th house, what are the main things we have to see here? N number of, again I will tell you, there is the N number of the significance for this 4th house. What are the things we have to consider? Primarily, in the initial part, we considered primarily few things. Then once you develop, okay, I'm really well versed with the 5 points for this now 1 to 12 houses. I want to increase my significance level. Go ahead and do that. Increase to 6 to 10, or we can n number of the significance you can increase, depends upon your time, because this kind of the study it consumes your time also. Okay, let's come back to the 4th house. 4th house lord, we already know it is the Mercury. What are the things we have to see here? It is about the Sugasthana. Whatever the happiness the Jatakas is going to feel, it can be derived from the 4th house. So when you see it here, there was no Graha present in it. Then we have to see where who's the Lord. Mercury is the Lord, that is the retrograde. So he made me feel happiness. We have to ask the Satish itself, what makes you happy, Satish? Maybe Satish more. Okay. Can you able to talk, Satish? What makes you happy in the world? Whatever the things which were you do, what makes you happy? Even if you feel, okay, whenever I drink a cup of tea, I feel happy. That is also you have to take into account. What about the things which makes you happy in the life? You feel like, okay, this
being
is
with being with a family
okay.
and playing around, having fun with people,
Having
fun with people,
fun with people, okay. Hmm.
and reading,
Hmm.
and any entertainment also I like. And
Okay.
sometimes I like my personal time. I'll be alone. I would like to prefer to be alone at times.
Okay, awesome. Okay, which were the kinds of the happiness which makes you happy? The happiness is like there is a difference between the happiness and like which were the things you like. The happiness is comes from inside. It's give you the shine on your face itself. When you do this thing, it feels like okay, this is my life. I'm done. That kind of the thing. Okay, that is representing in the fourth house. Okay. Next, we have to see about it's relevant with the mother. Okay, when it comes into the mother, when the fourth house says about the mother, okay, one interesting thing about his Satish chart was fourth house lord was sitting in the sixth house. Okay, is it good or bad? Kind of bad. Why? When the fourth house lord was in the hidden houses, that is the sixth house, what it will give you? There is a two chances. Jataka may get conflict with his mother, or mother will suffer with any kind of the disease. Either one will happen, or which is happening, Satish. You need to assume Satish was here. How is your relationship with your mother? Is a good one?
It was very good, but only in the last stages, maybe when before she passed away, 1 or 2 years, it was really not so good.
The relationship is not good, or health is not good.
Her health fell down the last 2 years.
Oh, okay.
That is, I'm telling you, she passed away in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
So before that, when she passed away, 2 years, I didn't have a good relationship with her, and her health was very bad.
Oh, okay. So either way will happen. So it can be, it depends upon the Dasha Buddhi happening also. The conflict with your mother, it can be the 2 years, or if the Dasha Buddhi was allowed you, it can be for the lifetime. But when the fourth house lord sit in a sixth house means this kind of the thing will definitely come. One or the other conflicts will come in your life. Okay, then one interesting thing. If you're the fourth house is also for your assets, land, whichever the asset you are buying, that is also comes under in the fourth house. Imagine a situation you are started to build a house with your own money. Then you will definitely give when you enter into the house. That's not going to give you any goodness in your life. Why? When the fourth house lord was sitting in the sixth house, that is a Rina Roga Ripustana, it give you the disease. Suppose it give you the disease if you started to build a house with your own money, where you don't get any loan, you started a house. Imagine a situation, okay? But instead, you change the situation, you build a house, but with a loan. When you enter into that house, it won't give you any kind of the pain in your life. Why? Because you already activated the sixth house, you already took the loan, the debt you already took. Then you did the action in the fourth house also, you build a home. But you balanced your life in such a way that you won't activate the sixth house, but you fulfilled the fourth house. You got any doubt until here, particularly about the fourth house lord in the sixth house? I really agree. It will confuse you a little bit. Before that, we'll ask Satish first. He built house with his own money or no?
No, I'm trying to do it, but it is being eluding. It is evading me. I think this is the reason it could be, because I don't want to go for a loan.
No,
If
you
I
go
had
for
taken
a
a
loan.
loan, you want me to go for a loan?
Yes, you go for a loan in such a way that because your fourth house lord was literally sitting in the sixth house with a retrograde effect. You start to build a home, but get a loan first. But you fulfill that loan is quickly. It won't get, you actually activated the 6th house, you done with the 6th house, then you are going with the 4th house smoothly. Okay, then you will ask a question. No, Anita, I'm not going to take a loan and I have money, I'm going to build a house. Okay, and once you entered into the home, what will happen? The 6th house effect will activated because the retrograde Mercury was in the 6th house. What the 6th house will do, Rina Rico Roper will come. It may be a loan. You feel like, oh, I have money and I'm going to build a home without the loan. But once you finish that, there is no option for you. You have to get a loan, you have to get a disease or some other things. Bad things happening in it. But my suggestion, if you do need to take into an exactly word by word, you analyze yourself, go with your mind, or whatever your mind says. But my suggestion here is take a loan and build a house. That's good for you.
But I'm sorry to say, I mean, I just want to put this point. When I was some 20 years back, so one older gentleman who saw my horoscope, at that time I was not aware of all these things. He said, for me, don't trust anybody. And if you take a loan or give an assurity, you will be under that, what to say, in the loan itself, and you will not be signing at all. So from that time onwards, I don't take any loans at all, and I don't assure. I give my surety to anybody. So I was very particular about that.
Okay, that was correct. I will tell you the reason also. See, your retrograde Mercury moves towards the Ketu. That's why your friends may give you, you will ended up in even a partnership or loan means what? You are exactly entering into a contract with someone else. It may be the bank, it may be an individual institution. So when the Mercury was moves towards your Ketu, it won't give you that kind of the benefit. It will give you the wrong effect. But yes, here, what you are trying to do, you analyze yourself, take a loan from the prominent banks, but you don't need to take the full amount. Considered you are going to build a house for 5 crores. You don't need to get a loan for entire 5 crores. Take a loan for 1%, 5% kind of stuff that you can easily that you can finish the loan easily. But get the prominent peoples who you can really trust, and trusted peoples, go with the trusted peoples the world can believe. Find the stuff. But that is also true. Whoever he said it to you, that is also true. Because when the Mercury was moved towards the Ketu, you may ended up in a wrong friendship, you may ended up in a wrong partnership. That will occur. But here is a twist. Yeah, see, that kind of the energy will holding, but what you are trying to do here, you are trying to activate the 4th house energy. Here you are trying to build a home. So once this one was activated, and it's also going to get activated. But here when you are intentionally going to activate this, instead of this Lord is on activate on its own, you activated this Lord by getting a loan. But here what you are trying to make, you try to make a balance here. You are not try to rise the 6th house on its own. You are not try to rise the 4th house on its own. You take a control of it. You manage the life situation.
Oh, I see.
You do a trial and error and find the answer.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Because that is what is being evading me. I'm trying to think of buying a house. It is always eluding me.
What it was doing?
I was trying to buy a house so that I can I have one property. I have to sell that property, and with that money, I have to buy a house. So whenever I go behind that, it is always eluding me. It is not. I'm not able to go ahead with that.
Okay. That is also okay. Whenever you try to sell a house or sell a property, that is also the Dashabudhi have to permit. Otherwise, you can't able to buy a house also, sell a house also. Even though you have a tons of money in your hand, you have a well-planned structure in your hand, you can't get that because Dashabudhi have to have. Okay, here the interesting thing. It's all about the Dashabudhi. Is it nothing can the divine power going to help? Okay, that is the point where your willpower have to overcome this Dashabudhi. how you can increase, there is various ways, but the only one way I know it's only for the meditation, chanting and refresh. So if you do that, your willpower will increase. Whatever the Dashabudhi will happen, even though if it goes bad, it will be suppressed for you because of your willpower. You may heard about this. This dimension is also about the free will. If you believe, that will happen. So that kind of the dimension we are living in.
Okay.
Even if you are trying to sell an asset, Dasha Buddhi have to permit. That's what the exact astrologer will say to you. But what I'm trying to say here was, as we are in a free will dimension, increase your vibration, you can do whatever you want. This is the guideline only. As most of the time, Dr. Kenny was saying, it is just a guideline. It's not in the everything written on the stones.
Okay.
Okay, let's get back into your horoscope again. Few more points have to finish. Your education is the 6th and the 12th, because retrograde Mercury definitely you will study well. Yes or no?
Yes.
You are really a competitive student in your school, because the retrograde Mercury you will study all the time. Okay, about the houses, no, not like
Definitely. No, correct. You're right.
that. Okay. About the houses and vehicles, we already saw about the house and vehicles, how the fourth house got in the 6th house. So you have to make such arrangement so that it balance your life. Land and assets, same thing goes here. So see here the land and assets, if you're trying to sell here also, Dacha Buddhi have to happen. Okay, you can try at one trick here. When there was a Mercury or the Mars Dacha Buddhi was happening in your Venus Dacha, you try to make a effort on that particular period. There is a possibility or probability may work for you. Okay, then, okay, this is an interesting one. About the agriculture is, see, if your 4th house is really good, because for him, there was no Graha present in it, so we have to consider retrograde Mercury. If you, I also told about the Karana peoples who born on the Kaulava, I guess. If they touch the planet, if they just pour the water into the planets, it will come automatically, because that kind of energy the body they already have. They just pour the water into the planet, it will grow just like that. But the other people will do all kind of the fertilizers, nutritions, this, that, and all. It won't do. If your 4th house was really good, you have a tremendous chances of getting into an agriculture, and you are eligible to do the agriculture. In other words, so you may see the people who succeed in farming. You may also see the people who may not succeed in the farming, because their energy was not relevant with kind of an energy the farming needs. So if the 4th house was super, then you can grow your plants just like that. Okay. How is your history, Satish? Are you much interested in gardening or farming, or when you try to plant any of the plants, it will grow or not?
Yeah. Any plants I plant, it grows very well.
Then awesome, because that Mercury was give you that kind of an energy. Okay. Nowadays, it was not the tradition. The peoples will try to put the bore in when they hand in the rural urban areas mostly. I don't know now. Nowadays, it was doing like that. When they put the bore for the water, or they dig a well, mostly in the village, they try to dig a well. Most of the time, what they will do, they try to do it on the 4th house, Dasha Buddhi happen. Whenever there was a 4th house, Dasha Buddhi house happening, they try to put they try to dig a well or try to put the bore in their house. And this is okay. Then, very importantly, when the 4th house, Dasha Buddhi was happening, best time for you are buying a house. Or even if it was allowing you to sell also, that is the best time.
Okay.
When comes into your body organ, it represents about your heart and the lungs. And importantly, when you see it's hearts and the lungs, it's also covered your backbone, exactly on your upper back. So if if your fourth house was not good or the malefic planet was expecting, then you have to be really have to take care about your back, particularly upper back, lungs, and the heart. Okay. But there was one interesting. I really want to say this. Okay, we'll finish this one. Then we'll move into the next part of this class. Okay. Finish this. Okay, here. I want to spoil this. Okay, let me go here. This is the chart of the Satish. And now we are going to see about this fourth house. Okay. This fourth house, it's become the 12th house for which house?
For fifth house.
Fifth house, yes. So why we
Can
need
you
to
repeat that question, please? I don't know.
fourth? Okay. This is the fourth house, right? The Kanya Rasi is the fourth house, right?
Yeah.
Fifth house is the Tula Rasi. Okay. From the Tula Rasi, count from here, the fourth house becomes the 12th house of the fifth house.
Oh, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, one house behind.
Yeah. So why we need to consider this? See, this is an interesting one. See, whichever the Karaka for the fifth house, it is going to be Vrayam by the fourth house.
Negative for the
So
fourth.
what does that mean? See, imagine you are trying to find I don't know how to say the Kuladevam, the family god, or the god which is worshipped by ancestors Okay? Imagine a situation you are trying to find that god. So when the fourth house, the Dashabadi was happening, you may not able to find it. That's literally impossible because that is the point that the Virayadipati, the fourth house becomes the Virayadipati for the fifth house. When the fourth house Dashabadi was happening, and you try to do whatever it is on the fifth house, the fourth house becomes the Virayadipati. It won't let you to do. This is a little bit confusing, or you can able to understand. If it was confusing, I don't want to include this in the next bhavas. That's why I'm asking.
Can you just repeat the last part?
Okay. See, whatever the significance of the fifth house. What are the significance of the fifth house? It is about your child. It is about your Kuladaivam. It is about instead of I'm repeating. What is the fifth house significance? Anybody remember? What's the fifth house will do?
Children, fame, creativity, romance, emotions.
Your fame also.
Fame, yes, fame, yeah.
Your college friends also. It's all represents in the fifth house. Okay. So when the fifth, whatever the karakas for the fifth house, when the fourth house Dasha Buddhi was happening, that will destroy the fifth house. In other words, you may not able to do any get benefit from the fifth house when the fourth house Dasha Buddhi was happening.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay. You consider this one. See, whichever whatever the houses we are considering, now we are considering the fifth house. The one behind the house will destroy that house. It for every house is like that only, not only the fifth house and the fourth house relation. I thought to include that in the Lagna Bhava also. Then I find it may be a little bit complicated. I should not include that. But when I moved into the fourth Bhava, I felt that okay, this is the point we have to include. If this was a little bit confusing, we can avoid that from the next bhavas. How is that? You can able to digest, or you no need this kind of stuff.
Vanita, is this for the entire dasha or just the dasha and the bhukti?
In dasha buddhi happening. So the buddhi is the buddhinathan is the higher. Buddhinathan is the greater than your dashanathan. When the dasha was happening for that fourth house, for the buddhi was happening for the fourth house, then this will take into effect in your life no matter what.
So it is Mercury Venus that we are talking about, not just Mercury alone. Mercury Dasha, Venus Bhukti.
Okay, we'll get to go.
No, Mercury, Dasha and Mercury Bhukti is what she's talking about.
Okay.
Mm. So, because for the Satish chart, there was no Graha present in it. So, you have to consider only the house lord. Who's the house lord? Mercury. So, when the Mercury Dasha Buddhi was happening, then the fifth house effect will be destroyed by this Dasha Buddhi, fourth house Dasha Buddhi. Okay, is this only for the fifth and the fourth house? No. See, if the sixth house significance will be destroyed by the fifth house, same goes for seventh house destroyed by sixth house, all significant. Sorry, I should not be going into numerous. Globalized, it can be one or the other significance which you feel really prominent in your life. See, for example, one may feel my children is everything in my world. One may feel like, no, my job is everything in my world. One may feel my family, I want to be with my family all the time. So whoever feels whichever is prominent in them, significant to them, that significance will be destroyed by that Dasha Buddhi happening. You do your research and find out some.
Vanita, okay, that is fine. But we also have Rahu and Ketu in the Dasha, right? But they don't have any sthana particularly in the chart. So what is the role of them?
The Rahu and the Ketu.
Rahu Dasha and Ketu Dasha do happen, right? So what will be the impact in that
At
case?
this moment, leave this Rahu and Dasha. Okay, there was one reason. The Rahu and Dasha, it's a natural retrograde planet. Okay, so there is the people will say there is the house prominent when the Rahu was exalted in the Rohini Nakshatra and other stuff. We'll see that later. But at this point, I don't want to include this Rahu and the Ketu because I feel this movement is not right.
Okay.
We'll come back to this Rahu and Ketu later. We are going to see the Rahu and Ketu in a very, very detailed fashion.
Okay.
If I include that one, what will happen? I know it gives you lots and lots of confusion. But at this moment, when the Rahu and Ketu, it's a natural retrograde planet. Wherever it sits, it won't give you too much good in your life. Rahu, it's a kind of an illusion. It will make your life, all the significance will become illusion in your life. Goes with the Ketu, it gives obstacles and makes you to let go. Thing will do. But the Viryadipati, this one technique, right? This one technique, first master with just the 7 grahas. Then we will include the Rahu and Ketu later because their story is a little bit different. Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, now
it is a natural balance of the benefit we get out of Dasha Bhukti, looks like, right? Nature is controlling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was reason why I asked it, because we read that fourth house Dasha, what will happen? That's what she explained, right? Then my natural question was, these two guys don't have any place in the chart. So what do we do with them?
They have the number of the other astrologers we researched, and they're saying Rahu and Ketu having a own house, own stars, it's all defeated. The many stories was there. We'll go with that in a very slow phase. We'll come back to the Rahu and Ketu. Definitely, I won't miss it. Don't worry.
Okay, no issues.
Okay, let's getting into the
Vanita, one question here. In this chart, right now he's running Shukra Dasha and Shukra Bhukti, right? So how is it affecting the 6th house?
Okay, when the 6th house, okay, the one thing will be come into place when whatever the significance of the Venus, when we try to do, and he naturally will do the significance relevant with the Venus only, no matter what. See, he dressed well, he go and pray with the god of his highly decorated, and his heart belongs to the goddess who's really well decorated, and if you want to go with the luxurious item. But here is an interesting thing. When both the Venus was there, when all the Dasha Buddhi on there was there, his mind was beautified in such a way that he see everything in a beauty, and he want the luxuriousness in everything. that kind of a tendency will come because the Venus is the auspicious graha, and that auspiciousness was included in his life as well. But when it comes into the 6th house, if you activated the 6th house thing, then the Venus will take into place with the combination. See, what are the 6th house significance? What are the 6th house significance we are trying to make? Who's involved in here? The 4th house lord is involved in here. If you try to do any, it's a kind of little bit thing which is webbed with each other. You have to be a little bit patient and find out which combination is going to get affected. I will go one by one, you'll find out that. See, now we are having a Dasha Buddhi was Venus. Now, at this point, imagine a situation that Satish was going to build a home. So, this is the moment he activated the 4th house. And how he can activate the 6th house? If he tried to get a loan, he activated the 6th house. So, is that will affect the Venus in nature? Now we have to see where Venus was placed. Venus was placed in the Shani Rasi, that is Makara Rasi. Shani and the Venus considered as a friends or enemy? Friends only. So Venus was in a comfortable position.
But Venus is the 8th house here. It's in the Dusthana again.
Yes, that is the interesting one. That story I thought I have to come back to the same Ashtamadhipati in the next lesson. Okay, I'll continue here. See, when Ashtamadhipati, whichever the graha was present in it, it tends to makes you to do the thing. It eagers you most to do the thing. That will give you the sadness. See, for example, you plan to build a home in few lakhs in budget. But what the Ashtamadhipati will then makes you to do, okay, why are you going with the lakhs? Go with the crores. It makes you to put into such a situation, you become to make a payment of the loan or number of years later. So the Ashtamadhipati, what it will do, it gives you the, greediness in your life. And this greediness, it's not in the entirety of your life. This greediness is only come where the Ashtamadhipati was present. Now the Ashtamadhipati is the Shani. The Shani was present in the 9th house. So whatever the 9th house significance, it becomes greedy. What is that? The 9th house, it's your father, it is anything related with a religious spiritual thing. And sometimes you may feel like, no, I'm going to build a temple. I want to do so many things in my life. So he may do that. But here, you need to consider the Shani. Here you have to consider the Venus because the Venus was present in the Ashtamasthana. So now, instead of considering the Saturn in the 9th house, consider the Venus in the 8th house. So what is the significance of the Venus will do? If you try to do, the Jataka may get greediness. The greediness is not a bad thing. The greediness, whatever the Venus will have, that kind of the significance, you may get greedy. You feel like, okay, anybody remember what is the significance of Venus?
Luxury.
Women.
Any see, for example,
perfumes, good clothes.
Oh, okay. Let's go with only one. Consider a situation, he went into buy a watch. Okay, he have designed the budget. Okay, I'm going to go with this kind of 1,000. And he went into the store. He tried to buy the thing. But what the Ashtamadhipati will do, okay, when we have to consider the Venus here, so he tried to do, okay, go with the luxury item. The greediness will increase. I'm not saying that greediness in a negative fashion. I'm trying to say that how your energy will be increased and you try to bring that up in your life. So then you may ask, what is that brings sadness in my life? Okay, consider a situation, you spend all your shopping with single one watch. Imagine if you are not greediness was set, you suppressed your greediness and you buy whatever you want to do with a sufficient amount of the money and bring to your home with some amount of the cash in your hand. Consider this situation. It may the same kind of the situation can occur in a number of events in your life. I'm just giving an example about the shopping. It can be anything, whichever the significance of that Bhavadipati. Mainly here you have to consider the Ashtamadipati means Sunny. But when the Graha was present, you have to give importance to the Graha present in it. That tendency will come. Okay, we'll have to check the Satish itself whether the Shani was happening in him or Venus was happening in him. Which one is correct, Satish? Satish?
Yeah. Tell me again, no, just which is the point you want? Sorry.
Whether your greediness will increase in your luxury items or beautifying anything, or like whenever you try to buy a new clothes or a dress, perfumes like that. I'm saying that greediness in a fashion of your interest will be increased. Imagine a scale of 1 to 10 in scale of interest, your interest will be increased to the 10. So I'm mentioning that sentence as the greediness. Okay. So is that will come in your luxury items, or your greediness will increase in a way like, no, I want to do so many things to my father. I want to do so many things to this temple, I want to build that temple, and I want to donate to the peoples for handicapped. In which situation you feel?
I feel it's in the second one. I don't go extravagant in spending or buying any costly goods. I do it in like giving donations and charity and all. And if it is for my wife or my son, I'll try to go. I will be a little extravagant. For me, I will not spend much.
See, this is the point. I believe the Venus was taking place over here. When the Venus was along with me, that is, your wife was along with me, my greediness will increase. So here,
Correct.
when it's not mean the greediness, it feel like, okay, I want to buy some luxury item.
You're being extravagant.
Yeah, extravagant. It's a kind of no. I want to buy very, very good things to my wife. So you put some money into it, right? That's the Ashtamadipati will do. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not only here. Every significant of that Ashtamadipati will place in your life, which a greater extent. Okay, Manita, then I did in a greater extent. What will happen? Okay, there is a side effect of that. Imagine a situation you're spending about the money, you spend carelessly for that. You may have definitely have the side effects of it. In every other aspect, same thing goes. You extravagancy will increase and you suffered with that kind of the side effects. This one point you can imagine. I mean, you understand this point about the Ashtamadipati?
Yeah.
Okay. Till now, you have any questions? I thought to go with Ashtamadipati later. Okay. Anyway, we'll combine.
He's running the Venus Dasha, right? So that's the Ashtamadipati point that you covered. But it is also the 5th house. So Putrasthana, right?
Yes. Okay. When there was the except the sun and the moon, other grahas will have the 2 houses, right? All the time, every 2 houses will get activated. It may not, but either one will get activated. See, if you are trying to be settled in a foreign, your 12th house is activated. It's a Putrasthana for the 5th house. You are doing some. If the child was born, if the newborn was entering into your home, or you're doing something significant to the 5th house, then the 5th house will activated. But either these 2 significance definitely will happening in his life, no matter what, you can't even avoid it. Because
so he should be doing something for his kid, or he should be trying to settle abroad or something
any
towards
kind of the expenditures. He may give the donations, or whichever the significance of the 12th house and the 5th house. Even if you may not able to understand, okay, what is happening in my life, but if you list down on every day, okay, there's all the things which I did today, there's all my actions for today, then you compare against with the 5th and the 12th significance. This will blow your mind.
Okay.
Somewhat your mind will enter into that. Why? Because Dashabadi was happening. The blanket was in such a way that it tweaks your nerve system. The cosmos energy will flow into you in such a way that you have the energy to do that action zone. Okay.
Maybe Satish can tell us.
No, everybody can do the post or whichever the Dashabadi was happening. You go and see which are the houses and what are the grahas present in it. So this is the point. Okay, this is the point where Satish can make if he was in software industry, he can able to create an illusion software, or he can have an ability to edit a software in such a way that no one can feel it was an edited video. Which were the thing which is in create an illusion. This is the point Satish can able to do. Why I'm saying that? Because the 12th house Rahu was present in it. His mind is always thinking in extravagant way, because Rahu is not a planet who's thinking in a small scale. It always thinking in a very, very large scale. Somebody want to build a boat means, and the Rahu was thinking in, no, I'm going to build 1,000 rooms shoot in ship. That kind of the large scale thinking for the Rahu. So one or the other way it will come. Because the energy flow, the system in your body, the 5 elements coordinated with each other and aligned with that kind of an energy. It's not a kind of okay. Your body was in the 5 elements and your Dashabadi was the cosmos. You are able to receive that energy only. Okay, when you can manipulate this, when you can change this energy, whenever you do the meditation, whenever you do the chanting, this system will be transferred. This system will be, whatever the energy the 5 elements was grasping, it will be balanced. So that's why even though the Dashabadi was not happening properly, you won't get affected. That's the one point here. Okay. I really have to jump into.
So with Rahu in 12th and 12th or 5th Dasha, however you see it is running, so it's probably a good time for foreign settlement, right?
Of course it is. Yes. Yes. If he tried to, if maybe his mind was thinking like that, such a way that I want to settle in the foreign nation. Otherwise, one or the other way, he will travel. Give me some.
Okay. Satish, do you try to settle abroad?
I'm always interested to go abroad. Hello?
Yeah. Looking at the point that she mentioned, that's the reason I asked that question.
No, that's it. It's been in my mind since 15, 20 years.
Oh, see, Vanita, you have the answer now.
But it has to fructify, that's it.
What if 8th house has moon?
There is a higher chances. He definitely will travel. And the settlement also will happen. Okay. One important thing about the moon and Rahu combination, it's not good in different ways. That particular Jataka may not be live along with their mother for a very long time. It may happen. The mind tendency may not be able to stable. They have to do some practice to make the mind stable. The moon Rahu combination, we'll see that later. There's a little bit of complicated one, and you have to understand in base way that you have to digest that. Okay.
Vanita, I have a question. So you're talking about Venus, because Venus is present in the 8th house, right? So what if moon is present in the 8th house? So how does that affect? It's only the 5th house kind of.
Okay. No, whichever now the Venus was present in the 8th house. So that is the Ashtamadipati was now Dashabadi was happening. The 8th house Lord or 8th house, whichever the Graha present in it, Dashabadi was happening. Now in your question, the moon was present. The Ashtamadipati will simple only one logic. it tends you to do that thing. It makes you to do that thing. But if you increase your intensity in a greater level, it gives you the sadness or obstacle or all kind of the negativity comes into your life. Whichever the graha.
Okay,
This is
what would moon go? What would moon?
the moon is relevant
do?
with your mind. Moon is relevant. Moon is your mind, your mother. If you are married, your mother-in-law comes into a picture. But when it comes into the moon, you have to give much more importance to your mind because that becomes your Ashtamadipati. Then the Dashapati was happening. You have to really take care about your mind. You have all the time. You have to come back, center yourself. Uh, uh, Mostly meditation makes your mind calmer. But that when that was happening, when the Ashtamadipati was happening and Ashtamadipati Dasha was happening, you won't enter in the. It's really hard. I won't say you won't enter. It's really hard to enter into the meditation.
Okay, stressed
But,
out too much. Okay.
yeah, but in the situation, if the Ketu was present in the eighth house, you have a greater tendency towards the meditation because you have a tendency to let go. That particular graha significance will increase in a large scale. What it will do again? Whatever it is, and I don't bother and I don't need it, and I go try to find a God and I try to find a moksha way.
True, very
We
true.
do that.
I have experienced that.
You already done with your moon dasha, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So eighth house moon.
Yeah, I have Moon Ketu 8th house. So, Vanita, what you said is true.
The moon and Ketu combination was extraordinary. That will do you in a very greater level, and that is
Yeah, it
also
did.
present in an eighth house combination. Oh, wow.
No, it did, and I don't know. In Tamil, we see Vechi Sayadun so.
Yeah. That's
Something.
what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
The moon and Ketu combination, it's not only in the eighth house. Wherever the house it was present, it shows its face all the time in a very greater scale. Okay. Anyway, we'll discuss the Satish horoscope in next few more weeks also. So we come back to the Satish. If you have any questions about the Satish horoscope, make a note of it. We'll come back and try to find out the answer. Okay. Anyway, will Satish here, be with us, so we can check with him whether whatever we are thinking or thought process is right or not. I quickly finish
Is
with
Ashtamadipati Chandra generally bad? Because there once I have taken a note like that. Is that so? No.
It's a Marana Karaka.
Maraka, that is why.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
No,
Now I know.
Marana
Karaka.
Yeah,
Okay.
Marana Karaka.
That's why
Challenge.
it is bad generally, right?
Yes.
Marana
No fire.
Karaka, and it is also eighth house being eighth house, it is Dustana. So
Everything together combined.
yeah. So you add every element of eighth house and add mind into it. So that is the problem.
Okay. Got it. So 8 is not okay. Nothing positive there.
Unless
Pretty much positive is there.
Positive is
unless
there.
it is viewed, unless
Occult
it has
is there, yeah.
aspect of good graha,
No,
unless it has aspect of
See,
guru.
the good thing about is the eighth house, though all these negative things happen, at least in my personal life, it enabled me to completely go abroad, settle, and all of that.
So also, if guru's effect is there, aspect or something, then it's okay too. It's not that bad.
It's pacify that effect. But
Yeah.
whatever the eighth house eighth Bhava will do, it will do. Graha will do. Whichever Graha present in eighth house, that will do. But how it is pacified? If the auspicious Graha aspect, or else the combination of an auspicious Graha, then that will settle or at least suppress that effect.
Yeah, I have no problem in guru in 8th. I mean, Chandra in 8th.
Awesome.
Moon in 8th.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have the aspect. Guru.
Yes.
That
Guru's
is
direct
why.
aspect. Yeah.
Okay.
And they are aspecting each other. So I think there is some yoga for that actually.
Okay, then one question will come, right? Okay, I have this Ashtamatipati was happening in my life, and what the things I have to do. Check your thought process. Is that my thought is in a greedy level or not? And you may answer it correctly or not, but you have to be honest to yourself. In this process, because at this moment the Satish Venus was happening, his mind tends towards the luxurious thing only. But if you ask him, no, I would buy luxurious thing. Is that true or not? No. For him, it is true. For him, it is exactly what is happening in him. He won't find that the item is a luxurious in front of him. But if for the other people, it is a luxury for him. So you have to check your actions whether it is in your extravagant or logistic or greediness is increased. You have constantly check that. This is the one practice you have to do when the Ashtamadipati Dashabhati was happening. Constantly do that. Okay, my action, which is I'm going to enter into the, particularly whether you are entering into any new actions, check again and again. And make anybody next to you, ask them to check your actions, whether it is I'm thinking very extravagant or my greedy level was increased or not. Ask them to check. We don't randomly check, ask this kind of help to anybody, whether the people who trust you most. Okay, welcome back to the Satish horoscope later. I really want to finish one thing. Okay, getting into the Jupiter. For the time constraint, if the revision of the Jupiter, I directly enter into the 11th and the 12th. Okay. Jupiter is one all good things for the Jupiter if it was present in the 11th house. What becomes the Upachaya Sthana for any Jataka when the Jupiter was present in 11th house, it's very, very good for them. Why? The 11th house is for your fulfillment of your desires, which were the profits, gains, and the cash flow coming to you, or whatever gain you acquire. It's all defined by the 7th house. And when the Jupiter was present in it, you are extremely lucky. And the peoples who are Sararasi peoples, if the Jupiter was present in 11th house, it really saved them. Why? Anybody knows that answer? Or at least Guru's aspect on the 11th house for the Shararasi peoples. What is special about the Chararasi 11th house? What is this relation? Chararasi and the 11th house.
Badaka?
Badakasthana. When the Guru was present in the 11th house for the Chararasi peoples, for the Jupiter in 11th house, really extremely lucky. And okay, then what will happen if the Guru was not present and the Adipati of the 11th is also present and not in a good position? You find a struggle in your life, you may not able to, sometimes you feel like I'm not able to overcome this struggle and the n number of obstacles in front of me. Sometimes you feel that there is no way in front of me. But when the Jupiter was present in the 11th house, nothing will happen, nothing will obstruct you. You clearly find a way in your life. These people find income from multiple streams. You may heard about these people. I find an income from 12 sources, 7 sources. Why? Some one or the other way, Jupiter have an aspect or associate or placed in the 11th house. Okay, their wealth is there was no limits. They bring the wealth in different ways, different sources. Okay, one interesting thing about the wealth coming into them was in a good way one. It's not any bad way. It's a good way when the Jupiter alone was present in the 11th house. These people have an capacity or ability to build their own empire. Obviously, these people are venture capitalists. Okay, when the Jupiter was present in the 11th house, these people's their mind will will think in such a way that they are very good in the finance. They know how to handle the finance. They know how to handle the money. They know how to handle the money flows. That's why they have an ability to increase. See, for an example, if you give a person who's for 10 lakhs, who's having a Jupiter in the 11th house, you are going to give a 10 lakhs to another person who didn't have that. These people will increase their money 10 lakhs into 10 crores. But the other person may increase in some way, such a way, or 15 crores or something, not in a drastic amount, a larger amount, or there is a higher possibility they reduce the principal amount itself. But for the people who in the Jupiter in the 11th house, they have the tendency to develop money. Okay. Here, one interesting thing. Now we are seeing the only Jupiter was present in the 11th house. Always keep in mind, this is the happiest way. Now there was no malefic planet aspect in 11th house, and there is no combination of Mangal, Rahu, Ketu, and we are excluding that. We are only seeing Jupiter in 11th house. But you have whenever you see, you have to consider other aspects also. Most of the Jatagam, when you see, you may see the Jatagam combined with Mangal, Ketu, Jupiter, or Mangal, Rahu, Jupiter, or there is a different combination you may come across. So that time, these 5 points need not match. There is a few points match. There, some people will say, I earned so many, I earned money from different sources, but I have no luck. Some people will say, no, I have a luck, but I don't have any capacity to earn money. One or the other way will come. Okay. But this is the situation where the Jupiter alone in the 11th house. Okay. It's moving into the 12th house. Okay. Jupiter is mostly all good. And that too, this is for the 12th house, still good in different way. 12th house is also for your moksha. 12th house is a kind of a end of one. See, in the Lagna, the Jananam was happening. 12th house, this is an end. This is your prana will want to make a way towards the moksha. Or you, whatever your detachment, it's defined in your 12th house. When the Jupiter was present in the 12th house, means these people are detached from all kind of the worldly luxuries. They don't want to attach with anything. Their detachment, their tendency, their mind will go towards the liberation. These people always speak like the moksha. They speak like very next day they try to reach the moksha. That way they will speak. And if you ask them to, okay, we follow the path of the spirituality, you follow the path of the materialistic life, they always choose the spirituality. They want to become the life full of spiritual. These people are mostly philanthropic. Most of the time, if you try to find the people who donates the money in larger amount, in a very, very greater level, mostly they are the Jupiter in the 12th house, because that gives a tendency. Okay, why the larger amount come? Jupiter is the amount. Jupiter is the smallest amount, smallest amount. But Jupiter is the bigger amount. It may be the crores, millions, billions, whichever it is. Jupiter is the biggest amount. So that's why they try to donate. They try to give to, or they tend to lend to somebody in a greater level, not in a small amount. So that's why the tendency also become they want to help others. Their attitude, it's inbuilt in them, because the Jupiter gives you the tremendous energy. Jupiter is also a larger amount, and the energy was already present. The 12th house energy was already present, and the Jupiter was combined. It led them to donate to everything to the world.
What is the other planet you mentioned? The amount is less.
Venus.
Shukra. Okay.
Maybe sometimes my Tamil slang will come all the time, most of the time. Shukra in Sanskrit. Shukran means when most of the time in Tamil we ends with in or in. If you see some of the words which I mentioned, it's a kind of the Tamil slang.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, till now any questions? I thought to start with the Saturn. Okay, I can't do it today. Any questions till now? No, yes.
So
No,
this all these characteristics, when will it start in someone's life? Like not very young, I guess, right? Because detachment all starts when
So
they're
this is the Jupiter in 12th house. Okay. Okay, this will mostly the Jupiter Graha matures at the 16th age. Their tendency will start at the 16th age, but the action will come when the Dasha Buddhi was happening. If the Jupiter Dasha was happening, particularly when the Jupiter Buddhi was happening, they're really getting into their action. But the Jupiter was matured at 16 age. That's why you remember whenever I described about wait a number, I guess this one. When I say the maturity age, this is 16 years. So every graha, the maturity age was different.
correct.
So that is the point. The Jupiter energy is fully in your body. It was like the Jupiter energy was enter into every organ. You may see that the child organ will develop slowly. When particularly the hip bones, the joint will be fully developed after 5 or 7 years, I guess. So till then, they can able to do the middle split very easily, and that's why the people who do for the dancing in the Bharatanatyam, they started the training for the kid in a very young age. Particularly in China, if you see the peoples, they started the training for the young kids, 3.5 years age itself. Why? There is a reason. They are not torturing the child. Their the bone was not attached. Your hip bone, the pelvic bone was not attached. It have the movement, so they can do the middle split, or they can raise the leg above the head also. They can easily do that. Okay.
The reason I asked is because I have one chart with this, but I do not see any of these characteristics. Of course, young. So that is why I asked. Okay. So Bhukti we have to see.
So, see, if the kid was young, right, you can see that attitude in different ways. See, for example, the kid mostly the kids want to give if they have the chocolate in their hand, they don't have the tendency to share it with others. But when this kid was the 12th house Jupiter was there, it won't find a funding to, the kid will be really happy to give or share with others.
Okay, got it.
Try to find their attitude. You may really surprised. The kid's attitude will be really different.
Yeah, my mom has a 12th house Jupiter, and the whatever that is mentioned matches.
Which matches?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That really awesome. Okay, anything? Any questions?
No, nothing. Vanita, can we wrap it up? It's very difficult to upload beyond 1 hour.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I'm also try to finish as soon as possible. Yeah, we will finish it now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vanita. It was very interesting
Thank you.
today's class.
Thank you, Vanita. Yeah,
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Vanita.
ma'am.